So we are officially, 5 days out from my first ever bodybuilding show, and I'm pretty nervous. Today's Monday, show's on Saturday. So, I mean, we're in the middle, not middle, but starting peak week, and things are getting real. So, just to backpedal, I've always lived my life with like, this year, I'm gonna do this big, massive thing that's gonna really push me. If you follow Jesse Itzler, he calls it like his misogi, like something that really challenges you, scares the crap out of you, but pushes you, and hopefully you come out the other side better. So in the past, I've done 30 miles on my 30th birthday, did the Everest Challenge 29029 last year. That was a 36-hour race up at Snow Basin, where you summit Snow Basin as many times as it equals to summiting Mount Everest in one setting. So you hike up the mountain, ride the gondola down, and do that 13 times. And that was wild last year. So this year, I was trying to figure out what would be exciting or fun to do. And my brother-in-law and buddy were like, we should do a bodybuilding show. And I was like, yeah. One of them already had a trainer, and I wasn't fully committed to it, but I was like, I'll look into getting a trainer and see where it goes. Booked a call with trainer Dan, and wasn't ready for what he was pitching me. Basically, when he got on the call, he was like, we're on this call, we're gonna decide yes or no if we're working together. There's no maybes, no I'll think about it. And I had no idea what the cost was or any of that stuff. And I'm like, whoa, you're selling pretty hard here. But after the call, ended up signing up. And that was a year ago. And on the call, I was like, yeah, we want to do a bodybuilding show. And he's like, I don't train competitors, but I can get you to the point where you could go train with another coach that's a competitor coach to get you up on stage. So I signed up with Dan. We did 6 months of training. This was like fall of 2023. Did 6 months of training. And I got like pretty lean, where I dropped down to like 190, or it was high 180s. And then like we just did that initial fat loss journey, got where I was pretty shredded, had a 6-pack, feeling good, vascular, and our contract was over. And then I was like, Dan, I want to do a show. We work well together. What would it take for you to train me to do a show? And he's like, I don't do competitors, I just do lifestyle coaching. But after twisting his arm enough, he said, let's do it. So we signed back up again for another 6 months with the idea of doing a show this fall, October 5th. Here it is. Today is September 30th, and it has been a wild journey. On that call, Dan was like, I'll train you, but on one condition. We're not doing this just to do it, just to experience it. We're doing it to win it. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Like I can get on board with that. And now I'm like shaking in my boots, because I can't think of very many things more intimidating than getting down in a frickin' man thong up on a stage in front of a bunch of people and flexing. Like after you get all lathered up with oils and tans and everything. And it's funny, people are like, you're really doing that. And I am. It's gonna be wild. It's been good for me though. I've gotten to the point where I'm caring a lot less about what other people think. And my biggest goal with this is just getting that picture of me in the best shape of my life. Something that my kids can look back on and be like, holy cow, Dad was jacked, you know? And then I've learned so many valuable tools and experiences through this journey that I will forever be able to manipulate my body however I want, because I'm now equipped with the knowledge and tools on how to get from point A to point B. Whereas in the past, I've been pretty thick at times, where I was 230 plus. And a cool thing, today I weighed in 178. I've been stuck at over 180, like 181, 180, 182 for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. And this morning, weighed in at 178, the week of show week, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Never would I thought that I would be this light again and this muscular. So it's been fun. It's been a journey. Seriously, like I've been going freaking hard for the past year, and this week I'm like, I feel like I'm climbing this year-long mountain, and I'm finally about to crest the top, and it's pretty crazy, but it's built a ton of confidence in me. Like they say, there's more millionaires out there than there are people or guys with six packs. So just being able to control that aspect of my life has been a huge, powerful piece. So anyways, that's a lot of rambling. We're gonna jump into a lift here and get after it. Let's do it. So the crazy thing is, and I'll have to do another video on like everything I've learned from this, but I have only been doing 2 workouts. I did the same workouts every day for the first 6 months, and then Dan switched it to like this. So I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's an off day, Friday, Saturday. I mean, very basic. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main body part lifts and then abs every one of these days. And you just do 3 sets on each of those workouts. And the first 2 sets are 2 sets of 8, and then the last set's 1 set of 15. But you're really going to like failure on every one, controlled failure where your first rep looks as good as your last. And before this, I was doing all these crazy workouts, CrossFit workouts, like just like beating myself up. And I have not been injured in a year. It's been incredible. Like I feel great. I've really enjoyed this kind of training. My cardio has just been walking on the treadmill to the point where you get sweaty, and that's it. Like there hasn't been any like magic potion or do this or do that. We used to do some insane CrossFit workouts in here and just like dying on the floor, just sweat oozing out. And it was fun, but definitely not needed if you're just wanting to get in shape and look good. So today we're just gonna do these are more high reps. I haven't really done much of this, but we're gonna go, I'm switching up my workout plan. We're gonna do some few sets of warm up. And this week we're not trying to cause it, we're in peak week, so we're not trying to cause any enormous amounts of stress or additional pressure on the body. My body's already depleted. I'll talk about that later, but let me get this warm up set in. So just nice and controlled. My elbows, like especially my left elbow, has not been feeling the greatest lately. But we'll just get some warm-ups in, and then I'll show you guys where I'm at after this year-long journey of just, oh, it's been brutal. So the hardest has been, I thought like bodybuilding was just lifting and your diet, but there's a lot more to it. You got obviously your lifting's got to be really good, spot on. You got your cardio that's got to be spot on. And then you got your diet. That's been a huge one. Getting that spot on, supplements. And then you have sleep and stress, which I'm terrible at. I get like 5-6 hours of sleep a night, and I really need to be getting 7 or 8. So that's been tough. And the stress part, it's been, dude, so I decided I signed up with Dan last fall. We had Briar, our 4th kid, and new babies aren't very conducive for like great sleep at night. So that's been tough. And then just running a business this past quarter has been insane. I thought about doing a whole little episode on this, but like this has been probably one of the most stressful times of my life. Good stress, but being in a depleted stage where you're always hungry, having 4 kids, we listed our house for sale. We found a house that we're gonna buy. I just had my office manager quit, so I've been trying to hire somebody. Her last day is Friday, the day before my show. So this past like week and a half, I've been interviewing a bunch of people. It's a pretty big position within Mountain Buff because she manages all of our agents and the transactions, and we're at like close and pending for the year. We are around 70 transactions, which we just started into Q4. So that's like 2 a week, not quite 2 a week, but it's a lot of volume that we've been doing. So I'm like, shiz, all that work's gonna be pushed back on me. And then my real estate business has just been exploding. I've been the busiest I've ever been. I think we had like 14 or 15 deals in escrow. And I have an assistant, Suzanne. We've been running our heads off, trying to stay on top of it. So it's just been crazy. And then we're in the process of buying a house too. So lots of stuff going on, and it's been very hard doing this from like this state of depletion. All of it's manageable. Like I'm grateful that it's not like I haven't lost a family member or nobody's sick and dying. So I've been fortunate there, but still very stressful nonetheless. Oh. This is just another warm-up set. So my calories, it's been wild. I've been 1,500 to 1,800 calories a day. My fats, I'd have to look, but I think I'm like 30 to 40 fats, maybe 50 grams of fat a day. And then carbs has been, let me just grab it and tell you exactly, because it's been pretty crazy. So my low days, 1,648 calories, 207 grams of protein, 141 grams of carbs, 31 grams of fat. On my off days, 1,585 calories, 207 grams of protein, 112 grams of carbs, and 34 fats. So the past, ever since I've been in contest prep, which has been like 13 or 14 weeks now, I've just been slowly like dropping the hammer. And now I'm just like pretty depleted, tired. I eat a meal and I'm still hungry after. Like my strategy is like dump a bunch of lettuce on my plate and eat that and drink a bunch of water, sugar-free drinks. It's been hard. It's hard to stay like I definitely feel it in my brain where I'm not as clear, but I'm pretty pleased at where I'm at. Like definitely the leanest I've ever been. So I'm gonna take this mic off, take my shirt off, and we'll do some working sets. See how we're looking. So here we're gonna do some flies here, and then some shoulder presses here. Normally I've been doing 8 to 9 reps of 90s here, but we're gonna try and get 12 to 15 and a few reps short of failure. So we're gonna go 70s. I don't know if you've ever trained when you're like in a deficit. Training is not very fun. You're always tired, struggling to like keep your mood up. Caffeine has been my best friend. All right, let's do this. That's where we're stopping. So I'll do one more set of that. Gonna give myself a little rest here. Hop on here and do some flies. But
do you feel a lot stronger, or is it?
No, I don't feel stronger right now. I feel tired. Because, dude, when you're just like, you just don't have a lot of energy, and like where you can see all the striations in your shoulders, it is
Or like overall strength, would you say?
No, your strength, because when you start cutting, you lose strength. So there was one time when I was kind of in a surplus, reverse dieting. I was like I could do hundreds on the press, and now some days I struggle getting 90s. So as you start losing fat, it's inevitable that you will lose some muscle along with that. So I've definitely lost some muscle. I can't remember the exact stat. Dan would know, but it's like for every 5 pounds of body fat you lose, a couple pounds of muscle. So the goal here has been to get as shredded as possible while still keeping my body and muscles alive. So lots of protein. I eat 5 times a day. It's just they're pretty dense as far as the protein side of it, but there's just no carbs and fats. Let's do this fly here. We're gonna do some 30s. Flies have always been like a weakness for me. not trying to kill myself. So.
Is this the only time you're gonna do it? Or are you gonna do another?
That's a good question. This has been stressful. At this point, no, I don't think I'll do it again. Especially in this stage and phase that I'm at. Dude, the sacrifices that went into this were unreal. Like, we did a business conference and went to Texas, and I had to eat the same things. So it was either like hire a company and have the meals delivered to the hotel there, but then I still don't have all the control of like making it how I wanted to make it. And this was back in August. So I meal prepped. It was like 20 something meals, froze them, put them in a backpack, took them through security on the plane, and ate them at the conference. Luckily there was a fridge in our hotel. My plan was almost perfect, except I didn't have a microwave. And there wasn't a microwave on like the whole floor. I'm gonna hit some abs here, but there wasn't a microwave on the whole floor. And it sucked because I was eating most of the meals cold. And if I wanted a heated meal, I had to go down to the front desk and ask him to heat it. And then on like day 2, we found one of the levels. There was like 20 something levels in this building. One of the levels had a microwave in their ice room. So I would just go to that room and heat it up. And then I went there one day and it was gone. So that sucked. Because one of my meals is rice cereal and protein powder mixed. And if you don't heat that up, it doesn't get thick and mushy and yummy. And so it was just like gritty. And like the only way I could describe it is if you dumped sand and protein powder in water and shook it up and tried to drink it. It was just gritty. I really feel like I've done everything that Trainer Dan has asked me to do. So honestly, at this point, I am feeling really good. Like I have no regrets about where I'm at and what we're doing. So every Saturday I've been going down and working out with Dan. And this past Saturday was our last one working out together. And it was like, I wouldn't say like emotional, but it was like, I was like, dang, this is our last time. Like him and Cameron, they've been helping me like with posing, because there's so many skills you have to like, even if you have the best physique, you have to know how to pose and making a routine and all this stuff. And that's honestly what's scaring me the most right now, is being able to be up on stage and remember the poses, how to do them right. If you think about it, you're at like a super depleted, tired state, and then you got to get up on stage and pose for like, they have a prejudging show and then the show that night. And so you're up on stage for a long time, posing, holding poses, and that's like a full-blown workout right there. But doing that from a depleted state, like I don't know how half the guys just don't pass out and fall over on stage. That felt good. All right, tank top's coming off. So I'm competing in men's physique, which is the board shorts, and they just do like poses. The poses they're doing are pretty basic. Like you got like your front shot, and the goal is being like V tapered. So you want your lats flared and abs. That's all they care about. Legs don't matter. And then you kind of do some back poses. So that's the men's physique posing. So I'm doing 5 classes. So I'm doing 2 in men's physique, true novice, which is your very first show. You only can do that once. That's the first time obviously competing. And then doing true novice and novice, so beginner. And then first timer and beginner. And then classic physique is where you have front double bi and different poses where they're up above. So you have your front facing, and then you have your side shots, and then you'll do your back, and then this side shot, and then you do like a side chest, and then a front double, and then there's a back double, just like this. But this is the one where you're in a Speedo, and then ab and thigh. So that one I'm doing true novice, novice, and then the open, which is like the best of the best. Like I'm probably gonna definitely lose that one. But I just wanted to see how it'd stack up against other competitors that have been doing it for a long time. And this is the NPC. I don't know a whole lot about all the divisions and stuff like that, but this is non-tested. So like you can be on gear, steroids, like you get all sorts of competitors in this division. So I'm all natty. I'm not going to be the biggest. I'm very most likely going to be the smallest little dude up there. And yeah, so that's going to be fun. But I was like, well, if I'm going to be the smallest, I better be one of the most shredded. And that's been my goal for all along, is like, how can I get just the most shredded as possible?
What made you want to go natural?
It's a good question, because I think I don't have a whole lot of desire to get on roids. I think the side effects and the lifestyle effects, like I'm just more of a, like I want to be able to do runs and backpacking, horseback riding. And so just being super thick isn't as attractive to my lifestyle that I want to live as getting on gear and stuff like that. But being in this now, like even if you are doing gear, that's what they call it, I just learned. But if you're doing gear, like there is still an enormous amount of work that it takes. Like it's a very similar process, just the results are bigger, obviously. But like working with Dan, I've just been like that guy is the most disciplined dude I know. It's very hard, unlike anything I've ever done, where like Everest challenge, I could just get there. Like I would train obviously leading up to it. And then I'm like, okay, all I have to do is climb this mountain 13 times. I might be underprepared, but I can grit through it. And there's really no gritting through a bodybuilding competition. There's no gritting through it. Like you're either ready and you're lean and you look good, or you're not. So that's where like the months and weeks and days of hardcore dieting, eating the same thing, going out to dinner and bringing my meal prep and watching other people eat amazing foods, no desserts. It's been hard. That's been a hard part. There's so much social bonding that we get as humans through eating, and I haven't really been able to be a part of that, which has been a bummer. So I am so looking forward to eating again. It's gonna feel good.
Are you gonna like take anything like the lifestyle? Are you gonna continue anything from what you're doing right now, as far as the dieting and the training?
So I've learned a lot about like how your body operates, and your body's very smart. Your metabolism just like kind of mimics what your body does. It catches on. It's a fast learner. So where I've been down to sub 2,000 calories a day, I can't just do the show and then go back to eating however I wanted. I'm going to have to reverse diet, which is going to be eating very similar to how I'm eating now, slowly decreasing my cardio, my expenditure. So I'll probably go from an 85 minutes to 60 minutes a day, increase my calories, 150, 200 calories a day, and do that for a week. And then do another bump up like that. So it's probably going to be 4 to 6 weeks to get me out of the state that I'm in now. Otherwise, I'll just be one of those bodybuilders that does a show after they don't have any discipline. Not they don't have any discipline, but they just kind of let loose. And then they pack on a bunch of water weight and fat, and it just like wrecks them. Like the journey's far from over for me, but I will at least be able to start eating more, getting more carbs. I'm super deficit in carbs right now. So as I start eating carbs, my muscles are going to start filling up. And so we're going to start carb loading probably Thursday, and I'm stoked to see how I fill out. We did a refeed like a Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, where you basically have a surplus of carbs to give your body a break. And dude, I had veins like coming up my abs. There was a vein like running down here, but like as far as like fat goes, like this is all skin. The hardest part and where you don't lose, like the last place for you to lose fat is like your lower back and your butt cheeks. And so when you're up on stage, you can always tell the guys that are most shredded because they have like striations in their glutes, right? And so in this, I'm not like, I'm curious to see how my body tightens up, because you kind of limit water towards the end, increase salt, and it makes your skin a little bit tighter. But I have some striations in my glutes. My quads are pretty dang good. It's been a journey, dude. But going back to your question after this, my goal is probably get to a solid 190, 195, and just be able to maintain a 6-pack and then slowly pack on a little bit more size. I think if I was like a solid 200, but still not this shredded, but like enjoy your lifestyle shredded, I'd be happy with that. So after my initial time with Dan, the first 6 months where we just did like a fat loss phase, I got down to like 188. And then we did a reverse diet and I bounced up to like 194 and I was at like 3,200 calories a day there. So like if I can get back to that point, I would be really stoked and get my maintenance calories like around that 3 to 3,500 mark. You're eating a lot, you're feeling good. Like you basically just reverse engineered your body to where you can eat a lot of good stuff and you're not going to pack on the weight. But if I do this reverse diet wrong, I will likely get fat, mess up my metabolism. So I'm doing blood work right after this too to see where everything's at, because this is not a healthy state to be in. Your body is not built to be this lean for long periods of time. So it's a very get down there and then get back out of there and get to a healthy spot. And the goal for this was just to have some pictures of like the fittest time of my life, basically, that I can look back on. So, and I think I'm there, like pretty lean, pretty shredded. I feel good, looking good. So it's been a journey.
So yeah, what's like the training like from like a 75 hard?
So 75 hard, I've had a lot of people like want me to do that and ask me to do that, but I never like wanted to. 75 hard, you have to do 2 workouts a day, separate times. So it's similar in that regard. You're supposed to do a diet. I don't know what most people do like for their diets there. Some people it just might be no sugar, and then you're supposed to drink a gallon of water a day, I think. I'm currently doing 2 gallons of water a day. I think most people aren't probably going to be like, I'm gonna only meal prep, because that's what I'm on, a meal prep. So like I only eat the things that are in my meal prep plan every day. And so I think 75 hard, you have a little bit more flexibility, but it really depends on the person. If you were to go like extreme 75 hard, it would be pretty similar. Nobody's making me read books right now or anything like that, but I'm still consuming a lot of good content. I've honestly really enjoyed the cardio side of it, because I just come out here and for a solid hour and a half, I just hop on YouTube and I'm like, what do I want to learn about? Leadership, business, watched a shiz ton of videos on posing and things like that. And it's been awesome. Should we see if I can do a muscle up? Get back to my CrossFit roots. That's the other thing, getting this light has been like, I haven't ran a whole lot, but a while ago I was running and I ran and it was just easier, because I wasn't packing around 20, 30 extra pounds. So when you get to like an ideal weight, it's crazy. All right, it's been a minute. Yeah, feels good. Haven't really done any pull-ups either. We'll just do some slow ones. And then I'll do some toes to bar. But yeah, you feel great when you get to like an ideal body weight. You feel good. So one other thing that's been hard that I'll show you guys is like posing. When you're posing, you have to flex everything. So like the first pose in the classic, they call it a front relaxed. And so you have to engage everything. You don't want like a lot of gaps here. And then there's a few ways you can do it, but this is my natural pose here. So I'm really puffed up, and this took like a lot of practice and training. Or we wondered if like, you'll see the difference, chest full or like out. And you'll see how it makes me look. So like significantly smaller, air out versus and then you go into your side. If you're doing it right, get some glutes, then you got your back. So when you sit down, try and get your back of your hamstrings to show. And you really get that wide look. And you don't want to be like shaking. And then you do this side. Front double. And you got like, there's a whole thing about like your side chest, really pushing your leg out best you can. And then you got your back double. And then ab and thigh. So like doing that is a workout. And they make you hold the poses for a while. And I'm doing that 3 times in classic and 1 time in men's physique. So it's gonna be wild. But I'm stoked. It's gonna be a fun journey. We should jump in the sauna and then get some shots of me when I'm all heated up afterwards, because then you can see more veins and stuff like that. And I'm really curious because Thursday we're gonna start pumping more carbs into me, and I think that's when your muscles fill up their glycogen stores, if that's what you call it. I don't know, I'm just trying to sound smart right now, but they fill up and then you start limiting some water so your skin tightens up, and then you get a more fuller vascular look, which I'm already pretty vascular. Right now I'm cold. That's one thing, dude, is I get cold all the time. I wear hoodies around and it's like 70 degrees outside. So it's a good time to start packing back on the weight, because otherwise it would be a long, cold winter. But yeah, let's jump in the sauna and get some shots afterwards. Okay, so just got out of the sauna. Probably shouldn't do that, but I want to run through the classic poses that I'll be doing on stage. Sorry, men's physique and then classic. So men's physique, you got your board shorts on. And because I'm not super wide, like square on, I got big obliques. This is it. It's all for men's, and you do that a few times with guys up on stage. So, and then for the classic, you're in your little undies. These aren't them, but you start out with your front relaxed, legs engaged, and then side relaxed. This is where it's important to get the butt cheek flexed. Rear relaxed, back, butt cheeks. And then this side. And then front double. Side chest. This is the most awkward one. I dislike this one. Good rear, then ab and thigh. And then classic pose of choice. And that's it. So it is Saturday, today's Monday. I don't know what to expect. I didn't do it to win, really. Well, yes I did, Dan. I did it to win, but definitely more for the pictures and stuff. I feel good. Like, I'd be stoked if I took home a trophy or two, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely nervous. I mean, in the beginning I was like, I'm just gonna do one show, but I'm doing 5 different groups, which will be interesting. So we'll tune in later and see how it goes. Till then, wish me luck, and hope you enjoy the channel.